Riot Games is a small indie company founded in 1346, the same year the Black Plague was started. Coincidence? Of course not. I know all this information that is not publicly available because Riot has me working in their Albanian coal mines because I am so hateful it's the only place they could contain me. If you want more Arcane, experiencing this story is currently the closest thing that you can get to it. Of course, excluding League of Legends, which after 100 hours of gameplay, you gain a voice in your head that does not leave. It commands you to run it down mid lane, aka your local interstate, and say racial slurs that have not been spouted since the Confederacy. As you load into the game, you're presented with a cutscene showing the inciting event that would put all of the game's events into motion. Okay, that was way too long without a joke. How about I just summarize it with this Subway Surfers gameplay getting progressively louder as I talk. The king here thought it would be a great idea to bring his dead wife into a pool that can heal any injury. His wife, who again is more dead than the Big Chungus meme in 2025, then wakes up and then says, I quote, $14 Fortnite card. And yes, that is very important.
Captain? Still got the bullets in my chest. Killing Gangplank wasn't enough, Rathan.
But you beat him. You're still breathing. And he's in little pieces all over the body.
I wish they didn't remind me so damn much.
I really hope anyone who was coming into this video expecting a deep analysis or a serious critique of the game is now well aware of who I am. So I've gotten some suggestions from friends about the language I use to describe women and how I need to be more appropriate with my use of language when referring to tramps. The first scene shows Tits McGee in her castle spitting on the brokies below before she's interrupted by some rather rude guests. Tits McGee here is complaining about getting the Balkan experience of losing your family and then starting an uprising. Gangplank killed her fam, but then she spent the next 10 years stream sniping him so that she could game end. We then game end our guest and no problems ever arrive ever again.
Well then, Captain Thorne.
We then get attacked by some ghosts in a spooky mist who are supposed to be dealt with like a certain hospital in 2015. Thanks, Obama. After we fend off the ghosts, we're then introduced to the diversity hub. And no, as commonly believed, I don't just hate her for the obvious differences between her and I, but because she pisses me off constantly. The only thing I actually like about her is that she's busted in fights and her people are racist.
We will wait outside. No need to get Pelangis Stinkonos.
This game has slurs.
Not like Twitter user racist, but like cartoon racism. They have their own word for people who are different from them. After that, I'm kinda scared someone's gonna drop the S-bomb. Silver. One thing Lowy does for now that's even remotely important is that she introduces us to the most peak character in the history of fiction. No, it's not Victor, not Vi, not Jace, not Jinx. And then Echo and Vander, there's a very fair argument for them. But it's Braum. You might not see it yet, and that's okay, but Braum's background is that he's a man from a cold, cold country called the Frozen. A great sickness has taken its grip on its people and the children of his country. Braum does what he can to ease their suffering, like bringing furry creatures to the children to play with them, but it's all just a distraction, not a solution. He was left with one option, and that was to sail the seas looking for a miracle cure of legend. And, of course, as someone who's never sailed before, he lands up in Philadelphia. There's currently some studies happening at Stanford involving potential cures for ED, and all of them are involving pictures of Braum. It's so effective so far that they're calling it a potential rule. If you're curious about it, Google Braum Rule 34 if you want to know more. It's actually super interesting. Alawi and Misfortune chat about how now that the mist is back, the two of them have to team up to fix the problem.
Well, what are we doing in Grey Harbor? Huh? This place is cursed. We shouldn't be here.
Heard Malik's got a meeting with Gangplank.
His corpse, more like. Fortune burned him alive on his own ship. Everyone knows that. We'll probably get it worse.
Funny thing about Grey Harbor. Sometimes the dead come back. I wonder, will you?
Advocate some slack, Gangplank. You've been gone a long time, and you need every man you can get.
Men won't get my city back.
What do you want with this old junk?
You have no idea what you're looking at. These Buru artifacts are the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, sure.
Relax. My work's almost done. When I return, I'll have the Black Mist under my control. We'll take my city back from Captain Forge.
Would a mist no friend from foe?
It won't need to. Keep that around your neck. Tell your men to stay close. Don't do anything stupid, and the mists of Grey Harbor won't pay you any mind.
Hey, if you're going back there, you'll need this more than me.
Not anymore.
A tribute to the bearded lady. Just in case.
Bilgewater belongs to me, living or dead. That's my destiny. But if I'm never to sit on his throne again, my ally better hold up his end of the bargain.
On the other side of Philadelphia, a furry and an emo walk into a bar. One says to the other, "I'm not so sure you need a bodyguard." And then I go, "Bodyguard? I barely know her." The emo wakes up to notice that he'd been swindled by the furry. Not only did she have a penis, but she also never gave him her OnlyFans. A true modern-day retelling of Julio and Romiette. He ends up teaming up with Brom and then the diversity hire, and then they go exploring in the safest neighborhood in Baltimore. The combat of the game so far is something that I've glossed over, but I'll break it down for you.
Interior crocodile alligator.
Holy shit, they have the Joe Biden debuff. The things that let Brom do to me are not YouTube appropriate.
I promise you, there is an in-law reason why a mission that should have taken about 2 hours to complete took me 4 hours, and it's Alawi. She used her wench magic on me to make me stupid. After a lot of exploration and another hour, I finally got to the boss room, and I beat him. First try.
My dog is going to get it, and it's going to be your fault. Alawi, this is your moment to show how strong women are. Show them how you're not oppressed by your gender, but rather you're strengthened by it. Let the whole world know how strong you are, and show them the bitches, man.
After we defeat the boss, we learn that Alawi, however unlikable, has found a way to make herself even more unlikable. She had a thing with Gangplank, the guy who murdered, destroyed, and sacked the entire city of Philadelphia for years. He's the reason Philadelphia is like that. She even saved his life later on. And the couple girls thinking that you could fix him. You're right. And I say go test your luck first with a Mexican drug cartel. They'd really appreciate your alternative perspective on crime. Okay, just to recap so far. We have the main conflict, which is the Evil Mist. And then we have Gangplank, and then we have Gangplank and all of his problems to clean up. If this sounds remotely interesting to you, you should go and buy the game, and then leave my video playing in the background so I can get that sweet viewer retention rate. The characters decide that there's one option. They have to sail to the ruined island, aka England, to stop the mist. Before we do this, we need to find our crew, because they've been taken by British people looking for a dentist. And no need to worry, but that is canon. We're then introduced to Pike. Pike is insane. No joke, no exaggeration, he's insane. Pike agrees to join us only because Gangplank has the crown from Fortnite and he really needs it for a quest. We then arrive at England. We explore the decrepit and dastardly England, looking for our target, the main cause of all of the mist. The one and the only Brian. But we have yet to find him. To get past the gate, we go into a pool of water next to it, which leads to behind the door, and then we flip a switch that deactivates the wall. The buildings here are oozing with character. So many hints that the ghosts and ghouls here used to be people who lived in this exact building. We exit the building and then find ourselves surrounded by the most human-looking British person. Escaping them, we find ourselves upon a massive tree. As someone whose identity is based upon ways to cause the most amount of damage to people's lives around me, watching as the furry who I mentioned earlier stopped me from doing my bidding to the tree really broke my immersion. When the furry saves the tree, she then reveals to us what happened before Brian decided to put the corpse of his wife into the magical piss pool.
Surrounded by a magic whiteness.
World of something I disliked was banned.
Then, the humans came. At first, they thrived, though Maokai was wary. For many years, the humans lived peacefully on the island, some even communing with him and being shown the secret of the Blessed Waters. Many years later, the soldiers came. Maokai sensed something was terribly wrong. They sought the Waters of Life, having heard rumors of their healing powers. And finally, the ruination. Fueled by greed and pain, these soldiers and their king unleashed a black mist upon the island. In an instant, a massive explosion rolled over the island, and the black mist devoured everything. Maokai absorbed what blessed water he could, but was forced to act. He fought off the shadows, seeking refuge. But now, the Shadow Isles are all that remain. And Maokai holds on to what little hope he can, fighting to push back the mist.
Ari then gives us the task of cleaning the tree's roots, which had been infected. If we do this, then the tree can start pushing back against some of the mist, letting him regrow the long-dead trees. My calculations detect a 30-minute grind fest coming up. Then return to the tree, who then says,
Time to get my drink on.
and no need to worry, but that is canon. Something you've probably noticed is how I only ever mention Alawi to make fun of her. It's because she contributes nothing. And I hate her. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. He then gives her the option to take a seed of his and then bless it with.
The mother serpent's blessing.
Oh no. No. Alawi has some plot relevance. This game's horrible. 1 out of 10 stars. I'm uninstalled. Oh shoot, guys. It looks like I forgot to write the Alawi section into my script. Only option now is to skip it and continue on.
This blade, a monarch's blade. I'm going to be late for my shift at the Dollar General.
Armies, just... Let us see how the strike...
You are bought.
Okay, we're now getting to the ending bit where we get introduced to Necrit. Not to be confused with the League of Legends Lore YouTube channel, with the same name and kind of the same role. He then explains to us that Brian the Rune King is the source of all of this mist coming from around us. He used to be a guy named Brian, and he was cool as fuck. He Alexander the Great his entire kingdom through violence and bloodshed, but then his wife got poisoned, and it's hard to make friends when you're murdering and pillaging everybody. He decided that he would drop everything to find the pool of piss that he heard about in myth. And we all know the rest. We're then sent on a mission to go and beat the heck out of Thresh. He has a lot of souls trapped in his castle, and all of them beg to be let go, and I always let them go because there's a 50-50 chance they attack me. The thought of some dude being another dude's slave for thousands of years just to get killed by an emo, a furry, a sexy bastard, a captain incel, and then Alawi. What a way to go.
Waking up from your... Stab that motherfucker. Lick my balls.
We continue to explore Thresh's castle, and then we finally get to him so that we can call him and tell him that we appreciate his work.
Are we interrupting? Please say.
You are too late. My plan is already in motion. It's so delicious when mortals put up a fight. As your hope slowly drains away, it will make your suffering so much sweeter.
It is you who is going to suffer. You cannot defeat us.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now.
The strategy for this fight is to poke him, heal, and then Braum out. And without Braum, this and many other fights are actually impossible. Please go to the Braum main subreddit and comment to each one of them that they're a real American hero. We then make our way to Gangplank and we find him talking to a sword. Gangplank tries to contain Brian with a necklace Brian warned him about, but it doesn't. It takes all about 15 seconds before Brian takes over Gangplank's entire body like he has that vibrating bead in his butt. Now we finally reach Gangplank, the man, insert sexism here, has been trying to reach the entire time. The man who murdered Pike's closest friends probably, and the person who called me an N-word on Xbox Live when I was 13. All equally bad things.
Looks like he's still...
Finally. But no. Not here in the midst. A proper trial.
Sarah.
If I put this tyrant to the sword in front of the whole city...
Adjust.
What's this?
are my queen! You need to act like one. With these relics, you will never die. I know what is best for us.
Looks like we caught up to our king.
So this is what you face.
This power. It's terrifying.
Everyone grab onto something. We've got heavy winds incoming.
On our way to Philadelphia, a massive gust of wind forces us to an unexplored island. This island has been sealed off by ancient doors that, with Yasuo, we can enter.
Do you guys think at the top of this mountain there's a big booty Puerto Rican goddess? That is not what I asked for, game. Asking for a refund and leaving a bad review right now.
The crew then sets sail for Philadelphia. They give a sappy speech to one another and decide to end off their heroic journey by sealing away the king or to die trying. All of this conflict is now led up to two wills. Us in the will to stop the ruination, the process where all of Philadelphia turns into undead zombies, so it kind of just stays the same. And then Brian, who's so heartbroken that periods exist in 2025, he's willing to end the world over it. He is 6 foot and carries a feminism book everywhere he goes, by the way. The Brian fight is a struggle. He uses dead allies and unused allies against us. We fight, and we struggle. Of course, we smoke his ass. In his weakened state, Ari forced his memories of how he said women deserve periods in August of 2017 on Twitter. He is a monster. It weakened his will, even though our queens don't need it, and then we defeat him. The magnitude difference between his willpower and any woman, because they're so strong, traps him in the amulet instantly. The game ends off with the characters in a bar chatting with each other like good friends, but that's not the end of this story. We still have one more to wrap up. In this video, our characters have changed, the story has evolved, and most importantly, I have changed. I started off this video hating the beautiful queens we as a society called women. I've grown to love and respect all queens. After all of the growing and experiencing I went through, I'm not the same person I was 17 minutes ago. I've changed. I am 6'1", by the way. Okay, before you leave to go watch another video, no need to worry if you watch this video, you did not get the full experience. Here's a short list of everything I skipped. Ari storyline, Yasuo storyline, Allow Me Completely, Misfortune storyline, all the side quests, Pike storyline, although there's not much to skip, and accurate retelling. I told some parts out of order so that they would better sync with my video. Ally biographies, enemy descriptions, deeper game mechanics, legendary weapons, lore besides the ones presented in the game, any kind of analysis, a lot of lore, any kind of deep analysis, a lot of game mechanics, inventory stuff, and power-ups.